I could not go home with this. It will be chaos. Even just shaving, that mohawk thing. I remember after I did my high school, I did put the
Yeah.
mohawk. I went home. My dad took me back to the kinyozi immediately. You cannot be in this house looking like that.
How old were you when you put them on?
Just after med school, 3 4 years ago, I was around
After
20.
you were already a doctor.
I was just after internship. Yes, I was a doctor. I think I was 26 3 years ago.
Kavya Mohoruki.
It-
So when you were 19, you had a mohawk and your father took you back to the barber to get it cut.
yes,
When you graduated from medical school, you said, now I have bought myself freedom. I will never be broke. I will never rely on anybody else. I have a medical degree. I can be anything I want. This is my freedom. And now I'm going to imprint it on my arm.
it was not instant, but you realize even the issue of the
But
shit that was before.
that's the connection.
It's a mark of freedom, not a mark of rebellion. Those are two different
I
things. Mark
understand.
of
I
freedom.
understand. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so that's why.
All right.
We organize for that.
So what are these traumas you are carrying on your arm? Niki kiradi na bereha.
No, it's not. It's actually it's. I did put them ile tu jana. It's not like they mean anything. It's just
So
some random.
they are traumas of immaturity.
Yeah, you could say so. Uh,
How does
there's
that make you
nothing
feel?
good. No, I don't have a problem with them. I don't perceive them as. I don't even pay much attention to it. I just did. I thought at the time I thought they look cool. And I've been
How do
told
they
they
look?
look cool. I meet some fine babes. They tell me, "Oh, I like your tattoo."
Women cash you on. So you want to add more to the other sleeve.
No, 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 no. I would have if I wanted to, but I've never really had an issue with it. I like. I think it looks nice.
They do?
They look nice. I don't. And then now maybe for me, I don't put much meaning to it.
How old were you when you put them on?
Just after med school, 3 4 years ago, I was around
After
20.
you were already a doctor.
I was just after internship. Yes, I was a doctor. I think I was 26 3 years ago.
Kavya Mohoruki.
And I would see patients with it. They don't have a problem. So I've never really, even my parents now, they don't have, where I was raised, they will bring issues, but yeah. You have issues, if your son does this, it's chaos.
I would not have a son.
Uh,
It's that simple.
like Donald Trump says, I don't want tattoos. No, I think, I don't know. For me, I can't say that they mean something to me, but I just think
So
they look.
what were they signifying at age 27? What were you what were you going for?
No, but then for me, there's this concept of autonomy. You find people who have tattoos, people who are not okay. Let me say there are people who are not tied to specific things. You talk about celebrities, you talk about sports people, you talk about people who have built their own thing. But those people who are tied to, for example, corporate world careers, like the society determines for you how you should look like, how you should appear like. For me, having this basically means some sort of autonomy, some sort of freedom that
So
I am.
when you were on that bed getting them, what were you going for?
No, nothing really. That's what I'm telling you. It's not really intrinsic. I'm not like targeting
I mean,
anything.
did you watch the Moana animated movie and you said you like the tattoos on the character
Oh,
of
the
Moana?
shapes. Yeah, these ones. You see, like the horns of the Game of Thrones. This is actually Game of Thrones inspired.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then so you look at the architect of Game of Thrones. So basically, that's it. Nothing much. Then this is my my year of birth, and then this is the crucifix that lady that looks like this. I think is is it in Sao Paulo? That wherever. Yeah.
The Brazilian big
Yes.
cross.
Yes. This one. So it was just a random thing. Yeah. Nothing means nothing. I was not going through anything. It was my moment. I think when I put this tattoo, it was actually my best. time or my best moment. I was doing very well, career wise. I was doing good. That's when I was now, you know,
And
I was
you needed a tattoo to remind you when you were born.
no. It just depends. The same way somebody has a stud, the same way
Why do they have a stud?
I don't know. I think people pay so much attention to this thing. The same way you have a watch, the same way I have a ring. Like it's just one of those things that are ornaments. That just it's just what
Why do you have a ring?
it's a jewelry. Like I feel like it's an ornament. I don't even know what it means. I just have two rings. Somebody will look at it and say, "Oh, it means something." For me, it's just a ring. You know.
You have
So
two
the
of
same way you
those.
can have a. I don't put chains. I don't understand. I've never understand why people put chains. You know, but
So in the
I
same way, that's the reason I don't understand how people put piercings and
yes
tattoos. The same way
exactly. But
you don't understand chain because chains they have their own meaning in the cause of slavery, especially when they are worn by the black people.
do you
They
think
always
black people put on chains because of slavery? It's actually the opposite. Because if
some
you
of them
find
is
this,
because of
you see most of
most
these
of them is because
celebrities,
of ignorance.
yeah, in fact, most most of them invest on these heavy chains. People say it's a sign of, you know, I don't know. Some people say that it now you have these expensive gold chains and diamond chains. People say that's how they show that's how they demonstrate economic emancipation, that they're now economically empowered. It's a sign of wealth. You know, people come up with funny, ridiculous moments. But I look at a lady wearing a necklace. I'm just saying, okay, you look beautiful on that. That's a beauty. Nothing much into it. I look at a lady
Yeah,
without a
for
necklace. Yeah. So
yeah,
I think,
jewelry in women are very understandable as
yeah.
when they are not in the extreme piercings.
Mhm.
When you
So
look in the Victorian age, like Queen Victoria is
yeah,
her whole hair is covered in jewelry and
yeah.
crowns.
But
But anyway,
you realize even in our traditional setting, there are tattoos. You know, they're just a different form of people. Will, if you look at it, even now, that where I went to school in Pokots have they actually
yeah,
pierce themselves. So there's some cultural aspect to it. There's
yeah,
now
they have a meaning.
yeah, never meaning, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
but
some of
when
this,
I asked you for your meaning of yours, you couldn't articulate it simply. It's like you have
yeah.
never thought about it in 4 years.
No, no, I've never really exactly. And I know me, I'm saying I did not do
Yeah,
it because there are people who put on tattoos because they went through something. It reminds them of their husband, their children, and those kind of shit.
but
May just do
yours is to remind you of your year of birth.
my. Actually, I've tried to tell you like I feel like I'm free. You know, if if I go for a job interview and somebody tells me we are going to have a problem with your tattoos, you know what I do? That's the last time. There's no any other conversation we're going to have.
So
No
it has
other
happened.
conversation.
It has happened.
So far, it has not happened. Well, I used to work in a mission hospital, and I used to have this. I told them judge me based on my work. Are the patients complaining? Are they okay? So that is the only place where I've been employed. Really, that's when I've worked under someone. But when I go to a company that has policies, you know, like the airlines, they don't allow this, then I can't go and work in that. So it's just freedom. That's why even celebrities put, not even even normal people. In America, you walk around with people with tattoos, normal people. You interact with
Yeah.
normal people with tattoos. So some put a meaning to it, some don't. Some don't even know why they put on earrings. So allow your son to try. My parents were actually you know, I grew up in a very conservative Christian family.
Yeah.
So even as late as 2017, my sisters would not put on trousers, you know. And even my parents told me when if I take a girl to our house, they cannot come on wearing trousers. You see. So we are very strict raised. I could not go home with this. It will be chaos. Even just shaving, that mohawk thing. I remember after I did my high school, I did put the
Yeah.
mohawk. I went home. My dad took me back to the kinyozi immediately. You cannot be in this house looking like that. But you see now, as you grow, you become older. There's some things
Hang on.
you are
There's somebody on the
attracted
door.
to.
There's somebody
Yeah,
on the door. So
yeah.
you were buying freedom from them.
Now, not really. I think there's that fear that you have as a parent. Maybe we'll have this conversation some other time. But you see, like even now, I don't know how old your boy is, but there's that parental instinct that naturally you have to be protective of your guy or your son or your child, guide them. Okay. But there is that point where now your child has grown. Your child is able to decipher what he wants for himself, what kind of life he wants. You see, so in that psychology, when you're growing, 12, 13, 14, 18, even now when they go to, for example, when they go to campus now, that is the first incidents in their life where they have real freedom. Because in high school, you are still confined, especially in our setting, yeah. So it's when you grow and then you start after campus again. Campus also it's freedom, but not really freedom. Now, when you go into the work setting where you have now to hustle, you see now these are different stages of life that people discover themselves. That's why you find most people realize they are gay when they're in campus, for example.
Mhm.
Or most people realize they are gay when they're in high school. And depending on how they were raised, depending on how they were conditioned in. So there comes a time where now, as a parent, you'll have to accept that my child is grown enough and he knows what he's doing. So even I told my parents that there's nothing wrong with these daughters of yours putting on trousers because times have changed. They have gone to campus, they're seeing people doing that. So let them. Wearing a trouser does not mean you are this type of a girl. Okay. And so for me now it came to a point and they realized, but you having it does not mean that you're this type of boy. You're not doing anything fishy. You're not doing anything out of the norm. That's just what you like. So I think I did not really buy it from them, but there's a way you see your child grow and you are seeing, okay, there's some level of maturity. You see.
So when you were 19, you had a mohawk and your father took you back to the barber to get it cut.
Yes.
When you graduated from medical school, you said, now I have bought myself freedom. I will never be broke. I will never rely on anybody else. I have a medical degree. I can be anything I want. This is my freedom. And now I'm going to imprint it on my arm.
It was not instant, but you realize even the issue of the more the
But
shit that was before.
that's the connection.
No, no, not really the connection. You see, even this mohawk thing, I think you're just from high. You see, it was my first shave after high school. Meaning, in high school, you have been conditioned to look a certain type of way. So it's your first taste of freedom. And I was very good at football. So I would see footballers with this nice hair. I was actually very talented football. So I want to look like Cristiano Ronaldo or whoever it was.
Were you in high school in 2012?
No, I completed high school in 2011. So from 2008 to 2011, that
So
first.
2011, 2012.
So
My
2011,
my
2012.
my
So
we went to Kenya when my son was 5 in 2012,
yeah,
and he was wearing a mohawk, and it was influenced by one of the footballers in the
exactly.
preceding World Cup.
Now you see, like
Yeah, he
Ronaldo.
had
I think it's Ronaldo
he,
or whom. But you see
he
now,
would
you
put
as a
mousse
parent.
on his hair, and it would start this tall, spiky as
Yes,
a mohawk.
yes, yes. Now
Yeah,
exactly that player. That was me. So you see now,
yeah.
you as a parent understood where that comes from. You see, my parents didn't know anything about football. They're just Christians. They know you get. And then truth today, you can't blame because the rock boys in the villages, the thieves, the people who refuse to go to school, had the same hairstyle. So so those rogue boys who could not go even to high school, so those are the thieves. Every thief that is caught has this funny hairstyle. So for them, I that is what they had. But for you, you understood that okay, my boy is just young. He likes this. He likes that. You understand? So over time, when I went to campus and I could now come home, I've shaven this way. So you see now, our boy has gone to campus. He has gone to first year, second year. He's progressing well in school. He's doing something for himself. He's not asking for us some pocket money. He's able to. So they're seeing like there's some level of maturity that is coming from this boy. So there are so many people going to med school. They don't finish first year, sixth year. So you're going. My friends died in campus. My friends committed suicide. My friends were not able to come. So you have this group of people, but you see, they see this. You have discipline. You are doing this. You're doing this. So with time now, their trust in my decision making and confidence grows. So by the time even I was finishing, by the time even in fifth year, I could make my own decision. They could trust in what I'm. So I'm just asking, hey, what do you think? But they don't really police me from that angle. So even you, when you get a point where your child will grow, he has become a man, and you actually approve of what he makes, knowing that, or the decision he does, knowing that he knows what he's doing. You see,
So that is the
so
freedom you were earmarking on your arm. That you got the degree that is going to give you financial freedom and socio-economic freedom, and you say, now I will never need anybody. That's why you're even proud that you
no,
have never been employed, except for the little
I'm
missionary
not really
scheme.
proud. I'm not really, but I'm not really proud that I've never been employed. I actually look for jobs.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but I'm saying it's not that I don't. I was telling somebody the other day, I do my own things online. I'm taking care of myself from what, but
Yeah.
I do not go to school, for example, to work for people somewhere else entirely. I believe like there's something I can do in my society to make
It's
something. That's the
more
whole point of going
fulfilling.
to school. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
the whole point. Because
Yeah.
basically what I'm doing here is brain drain. Okay. But there's something you can give me a task. Let me you see, you understand. I always want to work. I always don't mind. I can do 6, 7 things at the same time, so long as I'm making something that is impactful. There's that level of self-satisfaction that comes when you do something. You see,
Yeah.
that you feel your value is being used, especially when you look around and you see there's a lot of nonsense going on that you can actually help. You see, so it's not that I'm really that is the reason. But like I told you, this one, it was just a feel good moment.
Mark
You
of
know,
freedom.
yeah,
Mark
mark
of
of freedom.
mark of freedom.
Yeah, but it's a mark of freedom, not a mark of rebellion. Those are two different
I
things. Mark
understand.
of
I
freedom.
understand. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, so that's why.
All right.